What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hard Count. It's gonna get interesting on this one. It's gonna get interesting because I'm joined as always by CJ. CJ, how we doing?
All is well, man. What's going on, guys?
Living that dream. And then of course we have a nice little special guest right down below us in Masker. How we doing there, Wise Cheese?
We are doing great. Kicking off the week off strong. No more classes for me.
Okay.
Getting ready to get on the hard count and excited to talk some football news.
Listen, we might have a little bit of a surprise guest, later on. We'll keep it a surprise for right now. Josh was supposed to be on this episode too, but I got called into work, head ass. So you know what? He's not here. But that's fine because we'll just carry it like we're always gonna do. But you know what we got to do before we get into everything? You got to pay the bills around here. So if you're into the betting world, make sure you go over to mybookie.ag and use code USA100 to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Listen, we got the NBA playoffs in full effect. I'm watching a nice Nets game right now. We got baseball going on. The hockey playoffs are going on right now. We got fights this weekend. So listen, it's a perfect time to bet on anything. Hell, go bet on. I don't watch soccer, so go bet on soccer. I can't help you, but go bet on soccer too. Why not? Ping pong. I know that some people were betting on Russian ping pong during COVID when everything shut down. So if you're down that bad, there is an 800 gamblers number you should probably call first. But it's fine. Next up, we got RxHemp. RxHemp-USM will save you 10% on your entire order. So if you're a little sore from life, as I always like to say, go and check them out. You'll feel brand new. They got the hot and cold pain relief CBD creams. Yeah, I got you. RxHemp-USM. Then the Patreon account. No. I'll go to the Teespring next. Teespring.com/store/rep. Go and check it out. That's where we funnel all of our merch through, baby. So the network has its merch. And then, of course, each show on the individual lineup has their merch. So, this is nice hard account stuff. Put some dinero in the pockets of me and CJ. I'm not going to complain.
At all.
It's all about that bread. So go and check out the Teespring shop. And then finally is the Patreon. Patreon.com/UnrustSports. $1, you let us know you like what we do. $5, you get access to the Discord chat. You get 10% off the gift card giveaway. And then the $10, here's everything I just said, except that 10% discount goes to $20, and you get entered into our Sign Memorabilia giveaway each month. Listen, we gave away 2 things this month. I didn't even know. I was over there. I was over there looking in the Discord. We gave away the Ricky Williams signed mini helmet, and then Perry, being the big baller, nice guy he is, gave away a Brandon Ayuk signed, I believe it was picture, because he said that we were slacking this month. So you know what? Just little things like that. $10 a month, you could have won that. Pays for itself. That's all I'm saying. But with all that being said, we'll get right in to the football news. And boys, it's a big time right now. It's a big time because what's today? Does anybody know what today is?
Matt, let's see if you know, bro. You know what today is, Matt?
I don't think
know. Today is June 1st. That means contracts.
Listen, it's June 1st. That means Julio Jones can get traded. It's time.
Yes, sir.
It is time. And also, CJ, I assume that this is the 100-day mark out from the season start.
Yes, it is.
Big old century mark. So listen, we got some big things. And we'll start with Julio. Because, listen, the whole thing with Julio was that you weren't going to be able to trade him before June 1st because then the contract and the money and everything, blah, blah, blah. That's all off the table now. I saw some people saying that the contract or the trade was going to get done this week. I've seen, 48 hours. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things when it comes to Julio Jones, and one of those is the Seahawks possibly being interested in him. Apparently, him and Russ have actually texted as well, saying how cool would it be if we play together, blah, 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 whatever. CJ, what do you think about the Russell Julio Seahawks rumors?
That's a big move. They're able to acquire him in a trade. You got, Metcalf, Julio, Tyler Lockett, Gerald Everett, who they bought over from the Rams at tight end. I mean, that's a dynamic offense. You're going to need that type of offense, especially in the NFC West, um, with those powerhouses, San Fran, LA, and also Arizona. So, both of those guys on the outside, who are you going to double? Who are you going to double? It's going to be very difficult to just harp in on one guy, and then you have an elite quarterback like Russell Wilson who's going to get the rock to very extremely accurate. So it's going to be that would be dynamic. Hopefully, some other teams could try to try to send something Atlanta's way, try to get them out. But I think Atlanta also said they were trying to move in the NFC. But I'm just interested to see what's going to be sent to Atlanta. I mean, because we talked about this a little bit last week about Julio when the rumors really started to circulate. We saw D-Hop one circumstance got a second. Stephon Diggs was a first. So I feel like it's probably going to be either a first or a second, and then probably a mid-round pick for Julio, maybe a player, not too sure, but definitely a high draft pick, and then probably a mid draft pick as well. Just makes the most sense. Julio's caliber, you would expect a first, but we'll see. But I think Seattle, if they want to be aggressive, they want to try to make a Super Bowl run, they want to try to contend with the Buccaneers, who have elite weapons on the outside as well. I think it'd be a smart move.
Or that team in the AFC that we both enjoy. I'm just saying.
I don't even think do the Seahawks have a first round pick? Didn't they send 2 first round picks for Jamal Adams? I know they gave up this one this year that just passed.
I think you might be right. It's possible.
So, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see who has the better deal to send to the ATL. But it's going to be exciting for sure.
Hello, Atlanta. It's Bill Belichick. Would you like to speak? Just saying.
They might be a little salty about the Super Bowl, so they might not want to send us
28-3. Listen, exactly. That's the trade. I saw it on Twitter. You give us Julio, no more 28-3 jokes.
That's a pretty good trade-off right there.
I think it's fair, bro.
I mean, I'll take it.
Not? Matt, what do you think?
Ooh, what do I think? I think Julio to Seattle would be very interesting. I feel like one thing what it can do is it would definitely help improve Seattle. I feel like in the division right now, I think the favorites are San Francisco and Los Angeles. I think Seattle is right there at that third place kind of echelon. I think if they were to get Julio Jones, I think it could up them into one of those teams that could be in the conversation for the AFC West, just because it's such a loaded division. You got so many great teams there. Like CJ mentioned, you got Arizona, all the moves they made in the offseason. You look at the Rams, them getting Stafford, even the 49ers, Jimmy G coming back, the team getting healthy. What are we going to get out of Trey Lance? And then you look at the Seahawks, what has Seattle pretty much done? I mean, they went all in on Blitz Boy, and it didn't really translate anything. I mean, you look at when you get a guy like Blitz Boy, you're supposed to be in the divisional round or the championship game, even the Super Bowl, but you were basically bounced by John Wolford. Until Blitz Boy came in, knocked him out, and then you were ousted by Mr. Goffman, Jared Goff. I mean, it's one of those where the Seahawks, they have to make a move because where they're situated right now is not good. I mean, they're not good enough to win the Super Bowl. If we're being brutally honest here, they're pretty much a third-place team in the NFC West. Have they really gotten any O-line help for Russell Wilson? I don't see it. I mean, they're still one of the not-so-good O-lines. Your only good receiver is pretty much DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. You don't really have a surefire tight end on the roster. So, if anything, if you want to get Julio, then by all means go for it. And even earlier in the offseason, there was a lot of disgruntledness of Russell Wilson wanting out of Seattle. Pete Carroll, Russ kind of butted heads a little bit. Obviously, it's all quiet now, but you also have to keep in fact that did happen, earlier in the offseason. So, if you're Seattle, it all depends on what you want to do, what kind of assets you have. Like CJ mentioned, you have to be willing to give up a high price, a first-round tag, first-round pick, second, maybe even a player. But a team that could be slept on, and this is very homer of me, what I'm going to say is don't sleep on the cheese. I mean, if there's anything that could get Rodgers happy to get him to Green Bay, nice little call to Atlanta. Hey, we'll send you over a first for a 32-year-old receiver with hundreds of millions of dollars in the contracts, which we don't have the cap space for. But hey, appease Rodgers, right? I mean, there could be that, even though there is zero chance of that happening, 0% shot in the dark. But hey, if the Cardinals could basically,
right?
if the Cardinals could trade an old David Johnson and a bag of chips and get Hopkins, anything is possible.
Yeah, but you're not trading with B.O.B. over there.
No, maybe B.O.B. wasn't the problem in Houston. Maybe it was someone else.
No.
Part of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those two teams should be the top teams just because of everything we saw in this offseason about both of those guys being upset about the current state of the roster in terms of advancing. Of course, like we talked about this too. Those teams are those quarterbacks probably a little jelly about Tom coming to their conference. Building the offense how he wanted it to be, and and winning the Super Bowl out of it as well. So they want to try to stack their rosters so they can be able to compete with those guys in Tampa. I think those two teams should definitely be at the top in terms of acquiring Julio. Seattle, Russell Wilson tried to get Antonio Brown multiple times this year and last year. Man, it didn't work out. So I think bringing a guy like Julio would definitely help them for all the reasons we mentioned.
Now I want to play a little game here because I did this with Josh one time, and I'm going to exclude our favorite teams from this because I feel like it makes it less fun. Give me a place you think he goes and a place you want him to go. Like I said, our favorite teams are excluded because, listen, we all know the want would be just our favorite team. So, Matt, I'll start with you on that. Where do you think he goes? Where would you like to see him go?
Ooh, where do I think he goes? Now this is very interesting because he could go to a lot of teams, but I think one team that he should definitely go to is I think the Tennessee Titans. I mean, A.J. Brown recently made a TikTok persuading him to go over. I'd say why not? I mean, you look at if you're the Tennessee Titans, where are you situated in the division? You're in the AFC South. You're one of the top dogs in the AFC South. But Indianapolis just had a good offseason. They just got Carson Wentz, possibly the QB of the future. Last time we saw Wentz and Reich together, Wentz put up an MVP-like season before he got hurt.
Pennsylvania,
but
baby.
You look at Tennessee, because they're not good enough to beat Kansas City. We just saw they're not good enough to beat Baltimore. And they can't even beat Buffalo. And with how improved New England has gotten during the offseason, Tennessee's sitting right there at like a 5th, 6th place team. If Tennessee wants to get in the hump of trying to be one of the teams to beat in the AFC and try to prove that the last time they made it to the AFC Championship game was not a fluke, they have to go get Julio. So I think Julio Jones to Tennessee would be a fantastic spot. For one, for Julio, it gives them an opportunity to win. And for two, it helps improve Tennessee as a whole because it helps improve the receiving core. Like their main dog in Tennessee for receiving core is A.J. Brown. If all you got to do is double A.J. Brown and you're set. But you bring Julio in the mix with how good A.J. Brown has become, like he said, year 2 made the Pro Bowl. That's gonna be a different ball game for teams that have to play Tennessee, worrying about their offense. Now, a team that I would love for Julio to be a part of, which I think would just be fun to see. This may be interesting. And it may be hard to do, but I would love to see him on the Buffalo Bills. I would love to see him with Stephon Diggs, Julio, Beasley. I mean, you talk about offensive weaponry on top of offensive weaponry. If you want to go to the Super Bowl, Buffalo, send Julio there, beat KC, possibly give Tampa a run for their money. If you want to win a Super Bowl now, go for Julio. Because that'll be your best shot to win the Super Bowl. And you just made it last year without him. Now imagine with him, oh man, it's going to be nice and juicy and savory for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I like two teams. I like two teams as well. I'll go with Baltimore. I think we've talked about getting Lamar, number 1 guy. They just brought in Rashad Bateman, drafted him in the 1st round. I think it'd be a great way for him to ease into the NFL. Have a great guy like Julio on the opposite side. He won't get double teamed as much. They predominantly run the ball, so you'll see it a lot more one-on-ones, especially when they're going man. And you gotta worry about Lamar's ability to run the ball as well. So I just think that just adds a different dimension to that offense. You saw Greg Roman back when the 49ers, when they had Cap, they had a guy like Anquan Bolden, guy, possession receiver type guy, and definitely made a big time impact on that team. And even the Ravens back then, when they brought in Anquan, helped them go to the Super Bowl and get to the Super Bowl and beat the 49ers. So I think that would be a great move. And then I would stay in that division. Matt said I'll go with the Colts. You look at T.Y. Hilton he's probably a number 2 at this point. He'll still be productive for you. Michael Pittman is still very young. Bringing a guy like Julio Jones with a quarterback who did struggle a little bit last year, and Carson Wentz being with Frank Reich again. I think that would help him having that number 1 guy on the outside. Have a great O-line. Run game is improved with a guy like second year in Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack coming back from the Achilles. So I think that'd be perfect for Indianapolis, especially if they want to be able to, because we know Kansas City, they're probably going to get the home field advantage just because they're a dynamic team. So it's really going to be who's going to be that second team that gets home field advantage. So I think all of the teams that we just talked about should probably be on the phone with Atlanta to try to make that move so they can be able to get to that second seed and get that home field advantage. Because that's going to be very important in the playoffs. And if you want to advance.
I'm a little disappointed right now for the simple fact that CJ took both my teams. Both of them. I think, damn. I was going to try to change it up, but I just can't think of one now. I like the Ravens though, because I think you're almost killing 2 birds with a stone if you do it. You're getting help for Lamar, and then if he's not good, then do you have a problem? Possibly, because if you can't go further with Julio, you obviously now have your number 1 wide receiver. That can't be an excuse anymore for Lamar Jackson. And listen, I've said it. Peaked. My man's is peaked. So it could be interesting if they get Julio and then there isn't really results from it, but that might be a ways away. I like the Ravens though. I think it just makes sense. You get Julio with Hollywood, and obviously I think their big target is Mark Andrews because, like we've all said, they don't really have that number 1 wide receiver. Now you're opening up the middle of the field for him and how much more room he would have to work around. I think you're just opening your offense up just that a little bit more. That would really help them. Obviously, they're still going to be built around the run. It's not really a surprise there, but one move can really make a big difference for them. And then I mentioned this last week, but I would love Julio to go to the Colts. It's probably not going to happen for the simple fact of I talked about this the other week too, that I guess they're saving a lot of their money because they have a lot of free agents of their own coming up with, I believe Quentin Nelson's going to be one. I think Darius Leonard's going to be one. So they got some people that they're going to have to pay very soon and probably some very big dollars. But listen, if you could somehow get Julio on that team, like you said, CJ, T.Y. Hilton, he's a number 2 now. Definitely not that same skill set he had back in the Andrew Luck days. But, hey, you put Julio, you probably make everybody look a little bit better. You got Jonathan Taylor over there, so you're going to be able to run the ball effectively, add Julio to it, T.Y., pair him, like you said, and you roll it out and see what happens. I think that would be a really great fit. But we'll move on from the Julio stuff, and we'll go to Timmy Tebow, the other big story, of course. Yes, as you said, Seahawks are rooting for Julio, and I don't want him. We need O-line and D-line. We already have DK and Lockett. You know what? That's a fair point, though.
Yeah, and they won 12 games last year, too.
It's a fair point because you're going to have to trade draft picks for Julio, and that's where you're going to need to improve that O-line and D-line. So, I don't know how you do both. Obviously, if Julio's a free agent, you only need money. This year, giving up things. Unless they really like a player and you can almost do like a player in a 3rd round, I just don't think that happens. Because what are you going to do? Trade Bobby Wagner? No. So.
That'd be crazy.
So it could be interesting. Listen, I would like it just because it's Russ and Julio. And I think Russ has the best, deep ball accuracy I think I might have ever seen in my life. So him throwing it down to Julio or faking it to Julio and then throwing it to Decaf. Yeah, have fun, defenses. Have fun. It'll look like it'll look like everybody else going against the Bucs. But like I said, we'll go to Timmy Tebow. Hey, listen, Jags, he's officially on the team, working out at tight end. Listen, I saw a picture of him. Man looks jacked. But we also remember that picture of him running through the rain when he was on the Jets. Everybody lost their damn mind. They're apparently going to use him in the Taysom Hill role. I kind of saw that coming, but Matt, what do you think about it? Do you think I don't know. How do you like him in that role? And I'll even add this on. Do you think he lasts the whole season?
Ooh, those are all very tough questions. I do think Tebow does have a legit shot. I mean, you look at what the kind of tight ends they have on the roster last season, they really weren't big name. Exactly. It doesn't help out the other Jaguars tight ends case when last year, like Anthony mentioned, their tight ends were pretty much non-existent. They barely put up any stat line to help reflect the offense. So if anything, getting Tim Tebow, if he really is legit the real deal, if anything, it would only just help whatever tight ends you got, because whatever tight ends you had last year were horrible. I mean, you look at you can pretty much put Anthony or CJ in the tight end field for the Jaguars, and you'd have the same success, but even better success. Just because I know they're great.
All right, there you go. Way to save face right there. Way to save face. I'm saying.
But hearing the reports of him being utilized in a Taysom Hill role, the way how jacked he is, he does not look like he could throw the football for. I think he's as somebody would say, like, too ripped. Like I've never seen a QB with like the big of arms being able to throw far down the field. If he wanted to be utilized in the Taysom Hill role, now he could be utilized in every other role besides quarterback, because we saw his stint at QB at the Fan. Like, that's his time as QB is pretty much finished. They're gonna go ride or die. Trevor Lawrence, live on the hill, die on the hill, roll with him. If they want to use Tebow as tight end, which they most likely will, go for that. If they want to use him on special teams, why not? If somehow, some way, there's a flea flicker where maybe you roll a play, have Tebow have the ball, pitch it back to a receiver who then pitches it back to Lawrence, and then Lawrence throws to Tebow for a touchdown. Disperse all of ESPN media for a week of Lawrence to Tebow touchdowns. You could do that.
I think if LeBron dunked on the same day Tebow scored a touchdown, I'd delete my Twitter app.
You would delete the Twitter app, or would you just mute it?
No, I'd have to delete it because it would be at least a month before I could even go on. So what's the point of even having to waste storage on the phone?
Definitely, that was a good point to say. But overall, I think Tebow does actually have a legit shot at making the roster as a tight end, just because of how weak the tight end room was of the Jaguars last year. Now, if it were any other team, I would say hell no, he wouldn't have a chance. But because the Jaguars tight end room was not good, it did not put up good stats, and Urban Meyer knows Tebow well. I mean, he was his head coach in college and won 2 national championships. If anything, he's just going to be there as kind of like a veteran guy, veteran leader for a young Jaguars team. So, we'll see what happens. But I feel like there's a good chance for Tebow to actually make it to the 53-man roster.
Yeah, definitely has a shot. And saw a little bit of clips of him running some routes. Looks solid. I mean, it is on air, but it looked. I mean, it's facts. It's facts.
I agree. The way you worded it, funny as hell.
So it's a little, people are going to critique that. I just want to see, preseason. Once preseason comes around, you actually start to hit guys. It's going to be out there. Is he physical? He's known for being a physical type of player. So will that physicality be able to translate to the tight end position? Because he's going to need to be able to block. He's going to be their number one tight end. He has to be able to block. Has to be able to block defensive ends. running D tackles at times, depending on blitzes and things like that. Safeties that are coming off the edge that are trying to get the Trevor Lawrence. So those are some of the key things. I can see him doing it. I can see him playing in the Taysom Hill role, but not from passing. He could probably, like you said, a little bit, probably come under center. Might have him split out wide real fast, and then have Trevor go out wide, and then Tebow goes under center. And they do QB draws, QB powers, and things like that. I can see him being effective in the red zone because he is physical. He knows he's used to that. They can kind of keep the defense on their toes, especially in the red area, and then maybe get a couple rushing touchdowns. Yeah, exactly. What's going on, bro?
I was about to say it was good, bro. It was a long time. Yeah, I mean it's possible. I don't know, bro. I just don't have faith like that. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see once training camp live comes around in late July. I want to see. I want to see their practices. I want to see those practices, man. I want to see what happens when those linebackers hit him.
That's
how he gets up. You know what I'm saying? Yards after catch.
Being Tim Tebow does not help him in this because people are gonna want to take him out.
Yeah, but in that he should be able to also. He gets the hate. He should feel that as well. And
he absolutely should. But I mean, you can take as much fuel as you want. If you're gonna get popped 4 times a game just because they think you're doing this for no reason, they might start adding up. And I could absolutely see it happening. Like get hit, stand over, and talk about you don't belong in the league. I can see it.
So, but if those linebackers and those defensive players,
one thing he does is take the pressure off Lawrence. Spotlight is now on someone else. Yeah, that's also true. I wonder if it gets annoying in the locker room, though.
If those defensive play, he's not playing quarterback. So
no, I don't mean for Lawrence. I mean just in general, having like that celebrity type thing in your locker room all the time, because for a fact when media gets back to everything and we're in the full swing, if he does anything, questions to all the teammates are going to be about him. They're not going to be about them or the team. He's going to catch a pass in practice, and we're going to find out about it. And there goes any chance of having a question about you. It's going to be, how did Tim really look catching that pass? It's going to be like, really, bro?
Yeah, or how did Tim Tebow look doing a famous jump pass?
Exactly.
I just feel like, he's going to be – that comes to the territory, man. I mean, you just gotta as being a Jaguar and him being on the team. As long as he's a good teammate, I feel like that kind of just like cancels out because that's what the media is gonna do. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to do those things. The media, they claim they hate Tebow, but then they can't stop talking about him. So it's like, just it's so funny to me. Like why did we give him airtime and then you just continue to give him airtime?
Shout out LeVar Ball. Should have never got airtime, by the way.
So yeah, like I said, I'm rooting for him. Been a fan since Florida. Like I said, he's a physical player. I know he wasn't a great quarterback, but I think tight end could be a good move for him. A lot of people knocked him. I saw Greg McElroy come out and kind of say like that's not he wasn't really good when he was on the Jets when they tried to put him there. But he also wasn't training to be tight end at that time. So it's like it's tough to really, I can only take for what he says. I mean, he was in those practices, but again, like I said, he wasn't training for tight end. He wasn't doing the routes. He was expecting to be the quarterback at some point on the Jets, not the tight end. So I'm interested to see how he plays. And like I said, these defensive players, if that's their mindset, trying to hit Tebow, sometimes when you do that, you lose focus, you miss tackles, and he could get some yards after the catch, and then you could be sitting on the sideline because you're not focused and locked in on trying to get the tackle. So you could try to get the hit on him, but at the end of the day, it's football. It's football, and I know he wants to come back in the game, so he knows that's going to happen. I don't think anybody's going to be dirty or do anything dirty, like do dirty hits on him or anything like that. But it's going to be a physical game. They're going to definitely they're going to test him a little bit when he's running those seams up, routes up the seams, them safeties, them linebackers. If his head is not on the swivel, they will crack him. So we'll see how he responds to that. And like I said, those linebackers and those DBs are not careful or not disciplined in tackling, he'll blow by them and get big yards, and then you'll have what you didn't want, which you'll be on the highlight tape of Tim Tebow. So
Bro,
Better
can you
be focused and
imagine?
locked in, man. That's it.
You imagine if Tebow mosses somebody, bro?
Oh
I'm
Like I
retiring.
said, if he's good, it can happen. I mean,
I'm retiring.
no! Could you hear me out? Could you imagine if somehow the Jaguars play the Jets, you got Tim Tebow covered by Blitz Boy, and Tim Tebow Moss's Blitz Boy. How much of a meme do you think that would be all over the NFL season?
Bro, I think Tebow could moss a fourth grader, and they would be all over the media because they'd be like, "Oh my God, Tim Tebow just mossed his kid, bro." I would retire. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you right now. I'd retire. If Tim Tebow mosses me, and I'm a grown ass man in the NFL, I'm retiring. I'm just saying. Have to. But we'll move on from there. We'll go over to something I wasn't even thinking about talking about, but CJ had it on the list, and now that I read it, it's a great point. What the hell happened to Todd Gurley and Le'Veon Bell, bro?
yeah.
Like, here's my wait, and by listen, this is for all you Laker fans out there. AD's out for Game 5. Just got the update on ESPN. So.
Don't matter. King James will show up.
Oh God, I can't wait for them to lose tonight. Anyway, so Todd Gurley, I understand. He's got the knee problem. I guess he has like arthritis in his knee. Listen, that's a bitch. Like that'll mess with you a little bit. So I kind of understand. You know what? I've never respected a man more in my life, man or woman. Sons and six, as you should, Anyway, yeah. So Gurley, I kind of understand. I get it. The arthritis in the knee, I'm sure it probably hurts like a bitch when he runs or when he has to cut, because that's what he was. He was a cut back. I mean, he was, one cut and gone type of person. People think he was some big power back. That's not really what Todd Gurley was, in my opinion, at least. So that one I understand. Le'Veon still, I'm still kind of lost. And you know what? This is a great point. Todd Gurley went to the Falcons. Running backs go to the other guy. Didn't Eric Dickerson finish his career there? I think he did.
I think so.
And then the Jets get Le'Veon, and he died there as well.
Gase
Le'Veon's I
killed
don't
him.
understand. Like, he had that season off, but he was good the year before. And it's not like that's my thing. It's not like he got hurt because he was not playing. He had a year off. That should have been a year of rest, but I guess not. Like, I'm just confused. I don't know how the hell Le'Veon went from good to useless. Like, he's not good. I'm confuzzled. CJ, clear my head.
Appreciate that, man. What's going on, Barry? What's up,
What's
bro?
going on there, boss? And then Le'Veon was because he didn't play for like a year while he was out with contract issues, in my opinion. See, like, I don't know, though, because it's only a year. Like, don't get me wrong. In the NFL, you're usually not very good after a certain age when you're running back. But, I mean, bro, it was only a year. It's not like he sat out for 3 or had, like, some crazy injury because he wasn't sitting out because of an injury. Like, RBs can fall off in a cliff span. It takes the RBs can fall off in the span that it takes you to finish your breakfast. You're not wrong. Yeah. Apparently, you are not wrong. But CJ, sorry for the interruptions. Go ahead.
Yeah, the shelf life for running backs are extremely short. Simply, pretty much just bouncing off of what Lawrence just said. It's very quick, especially those guys. A lot of mileage on their bodies, a lot of touches, 400 plus touches a season. Back early in their careers, they were really the primary pieces of their franchise back when they were younger. So a lot of miles on their body, and it's just like you're constant. It's like it's a car crash every snap, every time you go into the hole. Because you're always gonna hit. There's not one time you're not getting hit. Whether the guy's blitzing, whether there's somebody blitzing you got to protect the quarterback, you're gonna hit. Whether you're driving up trying to get in the hole and try to get yards after get some yards, you're gonna get hit. So. And you're doing that 400 something times, kind of why we saw Zeke kind of, struggle a little bit as well. Taking a toll on your body. So, but yeah,
shout out Frank Gore.
Yeah, Frank Gore. Yeah,
the fact he's even alive still.
Yeah, exactly. He's been able to keep his body. AP as well. Adrian Peterson as well has been able to keep his body in tip-top shape and be able to withstand, some of the narratives of the shelf life of a running back. But they've had to bounce around on different teams to continue to show their value. It's not staying on one team like we might have saw years prior with some premier backs staying for a decade, staying for 8 to 10 years. These teams, they're not going to pay these running backs $16-17 million a year on the back end of the 400 and 350 touches that they've had before the second contract. So it's tough for Le'Veon. I feel like he's gonna. I thought Kansas City was a good spot. Like I said, he doesn't. They didn't really need to. They have primary offense on the outside with weapons: Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. But as we saw, the O-line wasn't as great as maybe we might have expected it to be. So maybe their pass blocking is probably a little bit better than their run blocking. Todd Gurley as well. Had flashes here and there with the Falcons, but obviously not what we expect from Todd Gurley. It's tough. I mean, if I'm them, I'm just trying to go on a contender at this point. Trying to go on a contending team, try to have as much impact as possible when I'm out there. Trying to go to a team with a good O-line. And these guys probably will get picked up maybe in the next week or so, maybe before training camp. Those I could potentially see that, and some of the other free agents that we've seen out there, some DBs as well. But yeah, like I said, when your career is pretty much a car crash, every single snap, as the years progress, it's going to be tough.
Not only did Gore and Peterson last so long, they both had career-ending injuries early in their careers. AP came back from that. What was it? Achilles, right?
ACL.
ACL.
Both of them tore the ACL. Yeah.
Casually 2,000.
He was literally 9 yards short of breaking Dickerson's all-time rushing yards record.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to ask you guys a weird question right now because I've always thought about this. In a game like that, or I'll use baseball because I think it's an easier example. You're the last batter in a perfect game. I feel like I'd get out on purpose, bro.
Oh, yeah. You have to, especially, well, it depends on the situation. If it's a 1-0 game and the guy's on the perfect game and tag, you playing. Yeah. But if you're down 4-0, 5-0, down to the last batter,
I would get out on purpose, bro. Like, I really would.
Oh yeah, I would too. You want to know why that's such a great point, Connie? Is because that happened to the Vikings when playing the Green Bay Packers. I told them just run AP, just let him break the record. Let's go to overtime.
No, that's why I bring it up.
Just go to overtime. Just please let Dickerson break the record.
That's exactly why I bring it up. Like if you're the team AP's playing against in that game, I low key would have been like, oh, I missed that tackle. Tragic.
Yeah, but then you get the Brett Favre syndrome when he let Strahan sack him, and he didn't really try to do anything and try to get the record, and people got flack for Favre for that. So it's a give and take.
What would you do?
Nah, I'm trying to get the hit, bro.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, we're still competitive. If he gets me out, then yeah, all right, cool. I mean, you deserve to get that, no hit or a perfect game. But I'm not just gonna go in there like, oh yeah,
I'm swinging for everything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, bro. Because I mean, at the end of the day, still trying to win the game. If the game is close or something like that, or just I'm trying to win that game for sure.
I'm low key. I would put the bat on the ground and be like, yo, bro, you could lob this bitch up here. I'm not swinging. Anyway, Matt,
that's crazy.
What do you think?
Oh, what do I think? I think it's been tough. I think it's been more tough for Le'Veon Bell just because, like, with Todd Gurley, we kind of know, like, his injuries in the past, with the Rams and in college with his knee injury. We know that was eventually going to build up. But Le'Veon Bell, it's kind of like, what the hell happened? Like, he was literally, but before he held out, he was literally one of the best running backs. He was literally unstoppable. He would literally walk. Like here's the offensive line. Here's Bell. He would walk for 3 yards. Then he picks a hole and goes. Literally walk 3 yards. Like you would see it. I remember vividly watching. It was a snow game in Buffalo, Steelers Bills. Le'Veon Bell. He would get the ball and it was just walk 1, 2, where to go? Okay, here I go. And he would walk for 2 yards and then he runs an extra 4.
Yeah, that's a product of a good O-line right there, man.
I mean, that's also with A+ O-line, but if you look at for Le'Veon Bell, it just didn't work out well. He held out for a year, understandably so, because he didn't get the contract he wanted. But even the contract that he signed with the Jets wasn't good. It's like it's like 4 years, $52 million to go to the Jets. Like I would have much rather taken the contract with the Steelers than go to the Jets. I mean, and
this
also
is true. Bell had that line that was the line that was trying to open holes for him was the same one protecting Darnold. So
yeah, and it also didn't help that Adam Gase was the head coach of the Jets, and he didn't want Bell. That's the thing as well. Adam Gase didn't want Le'Veon Bell, but the front office wanted. It wasn't a good recipe for success. And of course, when he decided to delve into the rap game, oh God, it was one of the worst things I have ever seen. Like all around has been horrible for Le'Veon Bell. Like CJ mentioned, I think you go to a contender, but the thing is, Le'Veon Bell was in a perfect opportunity with Kansas City. He didn't even have to be the main back. They already had Clyde Edwards-Helaire already there. And Le'Veon Bell, they probably look at Lev and said to themselves, look, you don't have to be the guy. You don't have to be the main guy. This isn't like your days in Pittsburgh. Just be a number two. Just be a good mentor for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And basically don't screw up. And Lev Bell just didn't have it. Now, Todd Gurley, on the other hand, it was just a simple fact of injuries just derailing him. Ever since really that 2018 season when he hurt his knee, he just wasn't the same player. That's completely different just because of the injuries he's had throughout his career. And when you're a running back and you hurt your knees, unless if you're Adrian Peterson or Frank Gore, you're not going to recover from it. So you just kind of look at it from each perspective. Le'Veon Bell was more of a self-cause. He did it to himself. Todd Gurley, you look at it and just simply say, that man just had tough luck. Tough luck with the knees. Couldn't really get it well when they had that Super Bowl run back in 2018. He tried to come back with the Falcons, had some bright moments, had some not so bright moments, intentionally scored a touchdown when you didn't need to score a touchdown, and then proceed to lose. It's just one of those where Gurley had more bad luck. Le'Veon Bell was more self-cause. And like CJ mentioned, and I'm sorry to interrupt, one last thing. Both running backs, I do believe, should go to 80 contenders. That's it.
Listen, Matt, I'm just saying, you were talking about bad luck. This is not bad luck. This is fantastic luck. Because we have people, former host himself, Mr. Christian. What's
Next show at 6, baby.
Christian,
you already know.
How are you going to be muted when you come in, bro? Come on.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry. Me and Perry were whispering sweet nothings into each other's ear before you brought me in. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys' patience. It's been a long and stressful day, but I'm happy to honor my commitment to Connie, unlike he honors to me when he says he's going to play Call of Duty with me. But thank you again for having me on.
I haven't played COD since Vietnam, and you're going to come in here talking about Listen, I'm just saying, I'll be on the show.
Connie, it's okay. I know you're scared of me. My KD bumped by 0.01, and now I'm the GOAT. So I feel if you're a little intimidated playing with me, just.
Oh, here we go. Listen, little do the people know that I used to backpack Christian
when we
on Warzone, bro. Backpack. I felt like Dora.
Yeah, Connie, you are low-key kind of cracked.
This man said backpacking like Dora. I am crying.
Yeah, well, listen.
Awful, Connie. But thank you again for having me. What's up, CJ? What's up, Matt? Matt, you're looking a little beat up. You're like, Matt Stafford before he came onto the Rams.
Nah, CJ, what'd you say he looked like?
Like the weekend, bro. The after hours, man. That's what it looks like.
They said it looked like the weekend for the after hours. No, I had nose surgery on Friday to fix up some scar tissue in my nose, so we got that all fixed away.
I'm glad you're good, man. But that's a fancy way of just telling us you got a nose job. It's okay, man.
That's what I said. That's literally what I said.
That I get. If you want to put it that way, that works too. You want to make life easier? There you go. Nose job.
My sister went in for a deviated septum once and came out with a nose job, and I was like, "You sly bitch! I know what you were doing." Don't you come and tell us, you deviated septum, you lying ass. Got a fucking nose job. Bitch.
Man.
Damn, I'm about to go in for a physical and come out with liposuction. Jesus Christ.
Oh, you
Anyway,
dumb thing. Don't take none of that away.
you know what? I try. I'm just saying. I blame Nan. I'm just saying. Whatever. You know what? This is the perfect time to bring you in, though, Christian, because we're going to move on here. And CJ, correct me if I'm wrong here. Is this next topic a little Colin Cowherd inspired?
Yeah, well, it is.
It is?
Actually, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
So we need you. We need people, and we're kind of putting you on the spot. So I'm actually, CJ, I'll have you go first, since I'm sure you're actually prepared for it. We're gonna say the top 10 quarterbacks, but under 25. Under 25.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, the way Cowher had is pretty accurate. He had Jones at 10, Darnold at 9, Trevor Lawrence at 8, Burrow at 7, Kyler at 6, Herbert at 5, Deshaun 4, Lamar 3, Josh Allen 2, and obviously Mahomes at 1. I'd probably change Deshaun and Lamar. I'd probably flip those guys. I still feel like Deshaun's a better pocket passer than Lamar. But other than that, yeah, I feel like, that's – Herbert had a special season, man. Yeah, a great rookie season. So I can see why you put him over Kyler, even though Kyler's had two pretty good seasons as well as a quarterback. But yeah, I feel like those would be the top 10 for me. Obviously Lawrence, he hasn't played yet. It's a lot to prove. So having him at 8 over Darnold, I feel like he's probably you could put him in a better situation. They're building the team around him. Unlike when he was on the Jets, they really didn't do anything for Sam. So, and then Daniel Jones, a lot of pressure on him. They got all the weapons on the outside, running Saquon coming back. So, if you can't get it together, this might be it for him.
Damn, let's see. Who anybody get left out that I'm thinking of?
What was the 10 again from Colin?
Colin had it. I'll read it off to you right now. 10, Daniel Jones. Number 9 is Sam Darnold. 8 is Trevor Lawrence. 7 is Joe Burrow. 6 is Kyler Murray. 5 is Herbert. 4 is Deshaun Watson. 3, Lamar Jackson. 2, Josh Allen. 1, Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I like that. I don't have Joe Burrow quite as high, I'll be honest with you. No capping. I have Justin Herbert and Sam Darnold ahead of Joe Burrow. Now, before you hop at me in the Joe Burrow take, Sam Darnold is still younger than Joe Burrow, and so is Lamar Jackson, so keep that in mind. But I'd say it's a pretty spot-on list. Who's left out of that? Like, who's in the first man out the bubble on that 25?
I think only – I would imagine Drew Lock.
Or in the comments says Tua.
Oh,
Tua,
yeah.
I'd take Tua with Daniel Jones.
Well, here's one thing.
Listen,
I will
here's
say.
my problem with Tua, bro. How you better be the star quarterback and your coach won't even start you in the fucking fourth quarter? Like, really, bro?
Now, one thing Tua will do that Daniel Jones probably would do. Tua wouldn't trip over his own feet. That's probably pretty much the only difference if we're looking at from that route, from that side of things. Tua would have scored that touchdown instead of tripping like Danny Dimes.
I thought he was disrespecting Baker here too, but I looked it up. Baker's 26.
Yeah.
So I thought he was trying to throw jabs at Baker like he usually does. But he gets left out. Okay.
There's not a lot of other guys. Yeah. I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
probably
not
take
bad,
Justin
honestly.
Fields over Daniel Jones too.
Ooh, I didn't think about Fields.
And you look at the rookies too. Even like in a perfect world, Trey Lance, but that's just purely hypothetical.
I think I would see, bro. I low-key think I like Daniel Jones more than Sam Darnold.
Stop.
Bro, I like Sam Darnold, bro.
I was gonna say, Christian's a big Sam Darnold guy riding out of USC.
I know USC. Sam Darnold is no. Christian and Sam Darnold are Caleb and
Jameis
Winston. No, Jameis Winston. Caleb and Winston, Christian and Sam, same people.
Live and die by the sword of those two players.
Here's the thing. Here's the difference, though. Sam Darnold is like an NBA rookie, right? He's going to be 23 years old going into his third or fourth year of service in the NFL. The kid's young. I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 25. Gosh damn, I would be so upset if people wrote me off at 24 or 25 years old. Like,
Imagine being
he's still
that
young.
old.
His balls – he's like 2 years older than you, bro. Like, what the hell? Like, his
Imagine- I
balls
said imagine
have
being-
barely dropped.
Imagine being 25, you old ass. God.
That's fine, bro.
That's
I'm
not
happy being 25. It's my Reggie Bush year. I fucking love it. This is amazing.
Yeah, you're also probably killing on the golf course too.
Ooh, I actually did shoot an 83 yesterday, which is ass for most golfers, but good for me. Fun fact.
Yeah, I don't think I could shoot an 83 if I was paid to do it. So, yo, Christian, when are you
looking
gonna come
for one
play
of those
golf with me,
texts
bro?
I'm actually down. I'm looking to do some traveling in this next year now that COVID's not a raging bitch everywhere. So you just let me know, Connie. I'll buy the travel kit. I'll fly out to you.
All right, you got to pay for the courses too, though, because I know you got more money than me.
Broke ass.
I mean, I know you.
We about to have an Anthony CJ Christian reunion down in New York
Yeah, listen,
at Yankee Stadium.
listen.
Down in New York? Are you in Canada? I mean, you are in Wisconsin. Same thing, you know.
Yeah, it
What,
is the
me?
same thing, eh?
You
No,
said
you're
down
in
in
Cali,
New York.
aren't you?
I am, but I'm
No,
like,
no,
what?
Matt, you're in Texas.
Oh, I'm sorry, my connection was bad at the moment. What were you saying?
Texas, right?
Well, yes, I'm in Texas right now, but this is a big announcement on here. June 19th to August 7th, I will be in California.
Oh,
Ooh.
you better take him out,
Good to
Christian.
know. Let me know. You'll be in my
So
hood.
your boy will be coming in hot.
You'll be in my hood, he says. Get the fuck out of here.
Connie, shut up, bro. Get your fucking get your Timberlands and walk your ass from upstate New York into the actual city, okay?
Ooh,
Yo, listen.
ooh.
It's beautiful here. We got some nice trees, nature all
It's also
around.
47 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was literally 85 today, bro.
You also got some snow.
Cap.
It was literally 85.
I'll give it a week.
Listen, I've said this before. Us New Yorkers, we're prepared for life. You little pretty California people, anything bad ever happens in life. That's why you guys can't drive in rain.
Well, that is like the lowest litmus of like being a good human being is your ability to drive in bad weather. Like,
No.
congratulations.
Because you guys have to go into a state of emergency when it happens. We're chilling.
You say state of emergency, I see like 3 days off. So, potato. Just calling it something else.
Listen, make sure you guys don't have no more fires, okay? That's all I'm worried about. Anyway, we're going to move on.
Connie, have some plants. Have literally any shrubbery anywhere. You concrete
My
jungle
nan has a
fuck.
beautiful garden.
My
Also
nan
got
has
some good
okay,
chicken
so
cutlets.
Listen, if we could grow a cutlet garden, let me tell you something. It'd be a
called a
bad
farm.
time. It'd be a bad time. Anyway, we're going to move on to Christian's neck of the woods in the NFC West. So it was great timing. You know what? I'm going to switch it up.
Best division of football.
Since Christian is here, we'll start with the Rams, CJ, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. So, Mr. Christian, I know you're very happy with your Matthew Stafford
Love it.
trade.
Best trade of the offseason.
Mid at best, honestly. But hey, since you're so in love with him, is he a top MVP candidate?
No, and that's just me not capping fully. I would not put Dak Prescott 2 in that MVP caliber. So Perry, who's listening to me in the extra room, we need to be real honest about our quarterbacks. Now, do I think Matt Stafford will be a top 10 quarterback in fantasy or in the entire NFL, however you want to put it? I do think he reaches top 10 this year. You think about every wide receiver he has is basically a second-round pick, or I think Robert Woods was a third-round pick. Tight ends, Higbee, I think he's kind of slow, but he's a good tight end. And then the cat we got out of Florida, the young guy, I think he's actually very, very talented. So, I think this offense is primed to be really good for Matthew Stafford. He's actually going to have a run game and an offensive line, which he didn't always have in Detroit. So I think he's a top 10 quarterback. I think he's honestly always been a top 10 quarterback, but the Lions are kind of like the Clippers of the NFL. They kind of just like don't ever win. And, when they do have good players, they find a way to botch it. So if anything, I'm more intrigued to see what Sam Darnold does after having the dry hand job of the NFC and Jared Goff for years. I'm actually excited to see what a leader can bring to our offense. I feel like we've been lacking leadership even in that game in 2018 versus the Saints, which we actually did win. Shout out Nickel Roby-Coleman. I was very critical about Jared Goff's body language. I'm a huge body language person, and it's just not someone of a leader. So even if Matthew Stafford comes in and does marginally better than Jared Goff did statistically, I just think having him on the team is going to get us past the bump. No offense against, the Packers who beat us last year. Given everything with Aaron Rodgers, even if they come back, honestly, I don't think y'all want that smoke in the end of the year. But I do think he is going to be a top 10 quarterback. I don't think MVP candidate is fair unless he comes out there and just completely lights up the field.
Okay, Matt, what you think?
Well, what do I think? Well, seeing Stafford play twice a year against the Green Bay Packers, I'm just glad he is out of that hellhole in Detroit and actually on a respectable team with the LA Rams. Do I think he's a top MVP candidate? No, but I do believe he could float. He could float like top 5, top 10. But I think if you want to be an MVP candidate, you got to be in the top 3 upper echelon. I think Stafford is just out there. Now, one thing that I will say for sure is Stafford better work with the Rams because the Rams gave up a haul. They got rid of Goff. They got rid of a couple firsts. So you're talking this move made by the Rams. They got to at least make it to the championship game this year, Super Bowl next year, and then maybe win it by year 3. Like you got to be in the conversation now. You got to try to win the division now. But I do think it's a great situation for Stafford. Like Christian mentioned, he finally goes to a team with respectable defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and a great offense. You got Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and then you got some solid running backs. Cam Akers going to look very great with the LA Rams. And you're looking for the Rams, I'm expecting a solid season from the Rams. I'm also expecting a solid season from Matthew Stafford. I mean, you look at now the lights are going to be on Stafford. He's got no excuses now. He can't rely on them saying, "Oh, we're sorry for Stafford. He's in Detroit. He has to play against the bad man Rodgers twice a year. He's got to play against the Bears defense. He's got the Vikings that he'll split, and then he's got the sorry-ass Lions." No, he's in a real team now. They're gonna look at Stafford now and say, like Stephen A. Smith would say, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Stafford? You're now in a team that's gonna compete in the NFC." You're in one of the toughest divisions in all of football. What are you going to do? Rams give up all this capital to get you. Now go out there and win. There's no more excuses now. You had 12 years of excuses in Detroit. Now you got no more excuses. Time is now, Stafford. You got to win. Because one thing for sure about Los Angeles, they're impatient. You got to win now. Because if you don't win now,
can't wait for the Lakers to lose tonight, Christian.
You're gonna be out of town because I'm telling you, before Braun won it all last year, there were a lot of rumblings. But you see, when you win in LA, it goes away. So you're Stafford. You better win with the Rams, especially with SoFi Stadium open now with fans. You got to win it, Stafford. There's no more hiding behind the NFC North now. There's no more hiding. The time is now. You're the Rams. Go for it.
Let's go, baby.
All right, CJ, it's all you.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible because I do see McVay opening up the playbook a little bit more from what we saw from Goff. Obviously, Goff is extremely limited in his passing ability, so I could definitely see McVay giving Stafford more opportunities to throw the ball down the field, push the ball down the field, so he could get couple maybe 30, 35 touchdowns. But the Rams still predominantly a run heavy offense and then work off the play action. So I think it's just going to be, I don't know about a top MVP candidate, but I don't think they really need that from him in order to really win. I just think they just need to protect the football. But they do need somebody to push the ball down the field and make some plays down the field. And I think that's something that Stafford could do. Stats predictions. I mean, yeah, I could see around 35 touchdowns because again, they're going to run the ball, that play action. We also never seen Stafford with a really good run game. The Lions have been terrible in terms of running the ball for years. So taking a little bit of pressure off of him, it's going to make things so much easier. So yeah, I think I could see around 35 touchdowns for Stafford. Cooper Kupp should should have a really good season. Robert Woods as well. Christian talked about Higbee. So I could see some touchdowns coming his way and then being really dominant. They're going to need it too because you could say he's the second best quarterback in the division. I think that's fair to say. So, we're expecting some big things from him, especially with everything that they gave up to acquire him in the offseason.
Yeah, I think I lean with that of it being possible. Do I think it's likely? No. But being a top 10 quarterback is very possible, and that's for all the reasons.
I think he is already. You don't think he is already?
Oh, no. Not probably.
I got him in the top 10.
He hovers on the outside, like 10 or 11.
If anything,
the
lowest he that's what I'm saying. The lowest he is like 11 or 12. So, I mean, but like Christian said, I think like a top 10 quarterback fantasy-wise and everything that goes along with that, if you even care about it. But I think he's going to have a good year, to say the least. And, me and Christian jokingly, one of these days we're going to bet if the Rams were going to win a Super Bowl with Stafford. Now, listen, I'll still make the bet because I don't think they do. But it's possible for the simple fact is, listen, we all agreed basically that Jared Goff was not it. Wasn't the guy.
Right. And
if you can make it to the Super Bowl, then I mean, shit, you should be able to at least make it back with Matt Stafford now, considering everybody can once again agree that he is an improvement. So, listen, if you're going to on a Super Bowl caliber team, you of course have a chance to win a Super Bowl anyway, or not to win a Super Bowl, to win an MVP. Because that means you're going to be on a good team. That means you're going to be able to put up numbers. I mean, you're not going to see MVPs on some garbage team. Like, it just doesn't happen. So,
right, like the Cowboys.
Yeah, shout out Cowboys for a fact.
Well, come on. How do you even consider Dak an MVP? Come on now.
Yeah, well, Dak isn't
if you want a hot take, I'll give you one right now. Stafford will have a better statistical year than Dak Prescott will next year. That's no cap.
Ooh.
It's bold.
My mama.
That's bold.
Well, that's very bold. I mean, Christian, last time you had a bold bet on here, it did not turn out in your favor. So let's hope
how'd
this
that
time
bet
around
go,
it
by the
turns
way?
out
I'm
a lot
sober.
better.
I'm sober. Pull me over.
Did you ever get that done?
He did.
We are. Well, if Alex actually responds to my fucking text messages, then sure, it'll get done. But someone's toxic and doesn't like to reply to me. So, see this, Alex. Answer my goddamn
Alex
call.
doesn't even know who we are anymore. Okay?
He got two bad bitches on a podcast and act like we don't exist.
Everybody want to be
Act like
call
you've been
me.
there before.
Everybody want to be call me daddy now. Everybody and their mom, bro. I'm just saying.
Perry just texted me. Dak lives in your head rent free. No, he doesn't. He does
Listen,
not live
tell
in my head rent free.
Tell Perry he can come on here and say that himself because Dak's still ass. Ass.
Cap. I'm glad. CJ, you like Dak though, right? I think you've expressed positive.
Mid at best.
View.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. And Perry, you can calm down and stop blowing up my phone. Not saying he's a bad quarterback. I just think, and like a lot of Cowboys fans think, he's this like overly great quarterback. Let's talk about some stats real quick.
A garbage time stat quarterback.
Thank you. 13 and 20 against teams over 500. You can talk about the defense. You can talk about Jason Garrett. But you got to have some accountability at some point when you can't even beat good teams. That's all I'm saying. Lack of cap.
You don't got to tell me. I mid at best.
Yeah,
and
the Rams beat the Cowboys last year, so Chris has got all the bragging rights.
Let's go. And we beat them in the playoffs the one year they actually had a playoff win. So congrats. Nice.
Listen, last time they won a Super Bowl or anything of that, it literally might have been Nom, so it's fine. We're okay.
It was the year me and Perry were born, so he says, "Oh, in our lifetime, we've seen the Cowboys win, literally as fetuses."
Well, technically, what year was it?
Was it 95? Yeah, 95.
Yeah.
All right. So when were you born, Christian?
95.
No. Like month.
Oh, July. So the season had already ended.
Okay, so you guys
so technically they haven't seen it yet.
Or maybe I have. I don't know, man.
We've
seen it. Perry's seen it.
Bro. If you weren't born in like January, then that means you haven't seen it.
No, I get what you're saying. I just can't remember.
You don't even know Perry's birthday? What kind of friend are you?
No, Perry's birthday was like last
Just
Thursday.
passed, yeah, bro.
What do you mean? Yeah. The fuck?
All right, so he hasn't seen one either. So you and Perry, well, actually, no, not you, but Perry, you're lying to yourself.
I
You're
mean,
lying to
the
yourself.
Cowboys are good, so he's lying to himself every day.
It's as we would say here, it's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing.
Who's ready for a Cowboys 8-1 season, baby?
Yo, I will literally piss myself if that happens.
I'll cry. I'll get T-shirts.
There has to be an unwrapped T-shirt 8-1 if that happens to the Cowboys.
Nothing would make me happier.
I would love that. I'll sign off on it.
Exactly. Half owner there. So you kind of brought it up. You kind of brought it up, Christian. Oh, here we go.
Oh, what?
I love how much I was
America's
talking
team?
about this Todd America's team and apparently America's
Yeah,
man over here.
America's man over here.
If anything, America's team is the Patriots, bro.
Listen,
that
I
or
mean,
the Broncos.
six Super Bowls in 20 years
listen.
with the red, white, and blue.
It's low key, Perry, just an intervention. Okay, we're scared for it. We're scared. Okay, this is kind of like when you got to sit down in the friendly circle and talk about your demons because you thinking the Cowboys are good all the time. It's scary. It's getting scary. We're worried about you. You and the mental health problems. Listen,
Yo,
I mean, we know Mental Health Awareness Month was last month, but hey, if we got to bring it in, there's always.
yeah, Washington's winning the division. By the way,
Oh no,
Cowboys winning the division is like
yo, Perry,
what?
come on the stream right now. Go into the room Christian's in. I will literally bet you right now that the Washington beats Dallas.
At least they have a
Ooh,
defense.
he said put a bill on it.
Bro, ain't no problem.
You want like my water bill or?
Ain't no problem. Yeah, what do you want? What bill you want? A nice
The
little
Kyrie
Benjamin.
Irving water bottle.
Nice little Benjamin. Maybe you don't want no Lincoln.
Alexander
or
Hamilton.
Washington. I do. I have it all.
Ooh, he said 100 is a bill, my friend.
Listen, easy money. Wait, no, hold on. Let me.
like a bet to me.
No, hold
Easy
No, hold on. Before I make a final, I just need to know: is it that Dallas isn't winning the division, or is it that Washington's winning the division over Dallas? Like, which one is it?
How
I
about
just wanna
winner
know.
takes it? If neither win, it's a push.
Yeah, sounds
I mean,
fair.
hey, you pick a winner, I pick a winner. Fair enough. Exactly what Christian said. Then I got Washington, you got Dallas. Fine, easy. Thank you.
It is decided.
man.
Other teams we don't
Right.
pick. Perfect.
The hard count
Perfect.
bet
Listen,
has been set.
that'll be the second easiest money I make right after the Lakers get eliminated from the playoffs and Caleb owes me $200. Just saying.
Oh, Caleb put 200.
I think me and Caleb put 250 on the Lakers going back to back.
Well, it won't be after the
Which
first
we
round. It won't be after the first round because we already know Lake Show in 6. You already know that. I said
Let's
that.
go.
That's a weird way of spelling Suns, but it's okay. I know you guys get
Anyway,
confused sometimes.
Chris Paul's gonna get hurt again. Chris Paul's gonna get hurt again.
Listen,
He's got
you
bones
guys.
of glass. He's like the Samuel L. Jackson character, Glass.
You mean the
in the
player
play.
that's actually playing and not your little baby Anthony Davis?
A Disney will be back. Just tune in for Game 6.
Hate Disney.
When we'll be up 3-2 and into LA. You already
Hate
know.
Disney.
Listen,
AD gonna drop a solid 30 and 10.
Listen, you better
Bron
hope
gonna come in
Lamik-
with
you-
25 and 10, and we're gonna close out the Suns in 6.
Listen, I'm just saying, you better hope Mickey Mouse is on his shit today.
Oh, he will be. He'll be dropping the 35 spot.
Yeah, maybe 35 flops if that's what you meant. But anyway, we're gonna get back
Oh, man.
to the actual football thing that we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, Bron about to drive the Valley tonight.
Yeah. You know what? I think I already know Christian's answer to this. So it's not really a valid question, but I'm going to just put it out there anyway. And I just want yes or no's because we got some things to still get through. And it's already been an hour and 8 minutes. All right? So listen, are the Rams the biggest threat in the NFC to the Bucks? I'll go with CJ. CJ, you start. Okay. Christian with the yes?
I'm going to say yes because they have the defense. If you look at the Packers, Green Bay, they obviously have a
The
excellent
Aaron
quarterback.
Rodgers Packers?
I think it'll be.
still
I
got
think it'll be there. I think it'll be on the team, but again, like I said, they have the run. They have the running. They can run the ball and they can play defense over there in LA. It's going to be a tough division though. Extremely tough division. Like Christian said, the topics. Best division in football. So But again, like I said, they have the coach, they have the quarterback now. They have 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates every single season with Ramsey and Donald. And if you have a guy that's disruptive on the D line and you have a guy that's disruptive in the secondary, that those are 2 things that's going to be very key against a team like the Buccaneers, who have elite wideouts and 2 really good running backs in Rojo and Leonard Fournette. So and a great offensive line. So I like the Rams' chances. I think they're probably the most complete team out of those top teams in the NFC that could challenge against Tampa Bay. And like I said, I see them in that championship game. I think it'll be a great game, a great chess battle between Arians and McVay, and we'll see what happens. I think they are the number 1 threat. I mean, you could go with Green Bay. I mean, they've been there NFC Conference Championship, 2 of the last 3 years. Their defense is spotty at times, so I think that's probably one of the reasons why I think they struggled with the Rams, and when they had Wofford and Goff. So, like I said, you bring in a pretty good quarterback now. I think they could potentially usurp Green Bay and get into the dance.
Now, to follow up that question, I do believe the 49ers, the Rams are going to be one of the teams to be in the NFC with Tampa. CJ, with my Green Bay Packers, it all depends on whether or not Rodgers starts week 1. If he ain't there, I'm sorry. We're not going to the NFC Championship game. That's just a fact. Now, will we win more than 4 games? Absolutely, we'll win more than 4 games. But we won't be anywhere near a championship game. But if Rodgers is there, oh yeah, we'll be one of the teams to be in the NFC, and that's a big fact. But this is about the Rams. The Rams will be up there. It'll be, in my opinion, I think if the Rams want to go far, they have to win the division. They can't afford to be a 5th seed in the wild card playing on the road, whether you have to travel to Washington or Dallas or to Green Bay or anywhere else. The Rams, for them to go far in the NFL playoffs, for them, if they want to go to the NFC Championship game, Matthew Stafford and company need to secure a division title, a home field game. That will be the only way that they can beat Tampa Bay. If they could get a home playoff game. Now, will it be hard for them to get a top seed? Absolutely. I don't think they could get a top seed, which can be tough. But if the Bucks slip at a championship hangover and somehow the Rams won up the Bucks in the standings and the home game, instead of going to Raymond James Stadium, is at SoFi, that might be a good moneymaker right there. So my personal opinion for the Rams, they are going to be one of the top teams to be in the NFC. I do believe it'll be Tampa, San Francisco, Green Bay with Rodgers, and the Rams. Those are going to be the teams to beat in the NFC. But if the Rams really want to go to a Super Bowl, which is going to be very hard to do, they need to get that top seed. They got to be some top dogs, and they got the capabilities to do it. You don't got Wofford or Goff anymore. You got Matthew freaking Stafford. Some people may even say he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. Now, I went on a tangent earlier in the episode. This is the time to prove it. Stafford, you got to prove it, my man. This is your time to shine in the playoff moments. Are you going to be like Mookie Betts and Anthony Davis with the LA squads, bring them a title year 1? Or are you going to flop in year 1 but bounce back in year 2? How's it going to be? How you want to be remembered, Stafford? That's going to be the key for the Rams on how they could be a team to beat in the NFC.
Those are good comps.
I put the Rams and the 49ers in the same category, honestly. I really do. Because I got a lot of faith in the 49ers defense with everybody coming back, going to be healthy. We're going to get into it after this because we'll talk about the 49ers again. I think we'll see Trey Lance at some point. So I put them. I put the Rams up there, obviously, with Stafford now. I think I'll never disrespect Russ, even though I think their defense is Swiss cheese at best. Yeah, just as you know, me and Christian say playing COD dog waters is bad. But they're definitely up there. They are definitely up there. And you know what? This is how we're going to determine how good they're going to be. We're going to play the infamous win-loss win game. Bam. We got the Rams schedule right here. Christian, I need you to tell me. Let's go through the schedule. I believe the first 3 on here are the preseason. and then their first
Yes.
game in the real season starts with the Bears.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let's
You
get
ready?
it. Yeah, let's go. Bears, week one.
Week one's easy. Andy Dalton's going to start. Ass Booth. Better than Dak, maybe. We'll see. But we're going to win week one.
He said
Colts, I
better
think
than
we
Dak.
struggle. Colts, I think we struggle a little bit week 2, but we win 21-17. I do think we lose to the Bucks week 3. Go 2 more wins. Then we lose to the Giants because that's a game we always lose, and we seem to just like not hold it together against them. Got to beat the Lions because Jared Goff is ass. I'm going to say loss to the Texans because I'm just assuming Deshaun Watson as of now is still on the team. It's another type of game we like to drop. Titans, I think it's a close one, but we win. I'm going to go win against the 49ers. I'm going to go loss against the Green Bay Packers, another type of game I think we lose. Obviously beat the Jaguars. Lost to the Cardinals. I don't think we beat them twice in the regular season. I think we beat the Seahawks twice. I just don't think they've made the necessary adjustments to compete in the NFC. Then Vikings. Well, that's a tough one. I actually do kind of like the Vikings matchup against us. I'm going to go loss against the Vikings, loss against the Ravens, and then a win against the Niners to end the season. So what is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. So that's 11-6 in the new NFL schedule. I think it's about right for us. I think that Stafford comes in because I think we were 10-6 last year, so about same kind of pace for us. The thing is with Sean McVay, and you alluded to it a little bit ago, Matt. They definitely should try to get home field advantage in these playoffs. I think SoFi coming back and kind of everything around COVID, like we're going to try to pack that stadium as much as possible. And also, too, no one's really seen that stadium before in terms of the fans. So I just think it's going to be loud. It's going to be electric. But Sean McVay is one of those coaches where I don't know if you guys grew up playing football, but it's like a super coach thing to do where they don't kind of like throw their whole playbook out there. I think they're going to ease Matthew Stafford along. I don't think they're really going to show a lot of the wrinkles during the regular season, and then this postseason, we're really going to see the true creative mind of Sean McVay and kind of what he brings to the Rams. But just kind of how we're built, I don't think we're the type of team to go like 13-4, 14-3. I just think there's too many good teams on this schedule. I think there's like playing the Colts, the Bucks, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks for 4 weeks. Like that is a freaking intense month. Like no matter the team you are, you don't want to play those 4 teams back to back weeks. So Christian on the strike. Hey, Caleb, why don't you keep retweeting posts about Marshall transfers at Florida State while the big boys talk real football? Seems like you guys got to win like 6 games before you talk about a real college and a real NFL team. But I think 11-6 is going to be our final record. What about you guys? You guys thinking over, under? I think their Vegas is 10.5 wins.
I would take the over on that easy. But I just think you're a little weird. If you lose to the Texans, you shouldn't be allowed to play football this year.
Well, we lost to the Jets and we still beat the Seahawks in the playoffs, so there's not necessarily a rhyme or reason around this person beats that team.
No, I refuse.
You're telling me you prepare for the Jets and then the 4 plays you're practicing is run right, run left, and pass right and pass left? Like any play you call against the Jets is bullshit because CJ knows the Patriots are there watching. You run some cool little screenplay or some. The Patriots are going to.
Oh, I want to know what the Patriots are going to do. Be cut out.
Yeah, Christian's hilarious, bro.
I need to know what. Oh, Christian, are you back yet? I need to know what the Patriots were going to do. Unbelievable. Anyway, you know what?
I can hear you. I can't.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now. Oh, there we go.
Oh, man.
I think. Oh, yeah, you're back. Oh, no, now you're muted. Look at this guy. Anyway, you know what? Listen, like I said, you're not losing to the Texans. The Giants, I'd still give you a win.
That was a close game last year. I mean,
see, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing, too. I'm sorry. You're splitting. You're splitting with the Seahawks. I refuse to think you're sweeping them. Refuse it. I see a split.
I mean,
why? What about their team outside of Russ?
Ramsey really locks down Metcalf, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll sorry,
It's really,
I'll
it's really
add.
crazy. It's really crazy. I mean, the
I'll add on-
physicality, he's able to match his Metcalf's physicality, so it's really tough on DK.
I'll add on to it. I was looking at before the stream. I looked at the win-loss total for the Rams. I think they can get 12. I know, Christian, you got them at 11, but I think they can go for a solid 12. I went through their win-loss record. I think I agree with you, Christian. I think they lose to Tampa. But the only difference is that Kyle Shanahan's kind of had McVay's number the last couple of years. I think you guys get swept by San Fran. So that's 2 L's there. But here is a one game that's a toss-up for me. I agree with you with the Packers. If Rodgers is starting, it's an L. It's at Lambeau Field. I could see it. But if Rodgers is not the starter week 1, I'm sorry. The Rams, they got too good of a defense. You got most likely a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love back there, or Blake freaking Bortles as your quarterback. I'm sorry. Yeah. If you're the Rams, you're coming away with a W there. That's only if Rodgers isn't starting. Now, if Rodgers is starting, that's a fat L. Take it to the bank. But another L that I could possibly see is the Ravens as well. Just because you look at the Ravens, it's in Baltimore. Now, if this were at home, I would kind of look at it differently. But like you mentioned, Christian, 11, 12 wins. I can see it from the Rams on that slate, especially because last year with Goff, you got 10. So you think with Stafford, you got to improve. You have to win. If you're the Rams, you have to win more than 10 games with Stafford. Because then you got to look at it and say, if that doesn't happen, then why the hell would we trade all those assets and Goff to get Stafford when we could just win 9 games with Goff instead?
Right.
I think I got you at 13.
13.
I love you guys. You guys are so nice. I was trying to be realistic. Come on. You guys are
well, hey, it could be a jinxing too, Christian. It could fall along the lines towards you.
I think I do. I got you losing the Bucs game, one of the Seahawks games. I didn't have you losing a 49er game, but I think I will, because you're right, Matt. They have had their number, but it's been Jared Goff as well. I mean, yeah, you know what? Probably lose the Seahawks game. Yeah, I had you winning against the Ravens. I wasn't really too focused. Didn't realize that it was an away game for them. So yeah, all right. See, look, we got another person agreeing with me. Rams get 13. They lose Bucs, Ravens, Niners, and Seahawks.
That's fair.
And don't forget if Rodgers starts, that's an L.
Nah,
that's to be determined.
Nah, I think.
Hey, I'm not going to cap Jair
Alexander.
I love him. My second favorite cornerback outside of Jalen, but that run defense, Cam Akers year 2, no way.
I have him on my dynasty team, by the way. Can't wait.
Me too. Hey, Caleb, if you're listening, thanks for Chase Edmonds in a second for Cam Akers. Just trade of the century. Thank you, my friend.
Why would Caleb trade Chase Edmonds? Caleb sent you Cam Akers for Chase Edmonds at a second?
God bless his soul.
Why would he do that? Did he not see what Cam Akers did to the Packers defense in the playoffs?
God bless
his soul. Every team.
And he's a FSU alum. What are you doing, Caleb?
Fake, clearly.
Seriously, I would never do it to Darnold.
All right.
We're
going to move on from your little Ramilies, and we're going to go over to a team that is going to might give you some problems this year, okay? And that would be the 49ers. And CJ, I'm going to start with you. You think Jimmy G is leading them back to the promised land that is the playoffs?
I'm not sure. Just because of the durability issues. He just can't stay healthy. He's he's been hurt. 3 of the 4 years he's been there.
Something like that.
The 1 year he's been there, they went to 1 year he was healthy, and they went to the Super Bowl.
CJ, don't forget he got hurt for us too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, durability's been a problem with Garoppolo in his career. He's good. I think he's 24-8 or something like that as a starter. So he's pretty solid. When he's there, he can win you some games. Doesn't hurt you too much. But is he going to be that guy that is going to put you over the hump to win some Super Bowls? Obviously, the 49ers don't feel that way because they would have never made those moves to get the 3rd pick and end up getting Trey Lance. So we'll see how it plays up. We'll see what his mental makeup is. because we know we have a guy waiting to just take his spot at anything possible. As soon as he slips up, any type of mistake or something like that, Kyle Shanahan be ready to put, and John Lynch will come to that agreement to put Trey Lance in there. So we'll see what he's made of. And if he wants to continue being a starter in the NFL post San Fran, this is a big opportunity for him. So looking forward to seeing how he plays. I just don't trust him just because of his durability. He's just been hurt too many times for me to say that he's going to be able to play a full 17.
Definitely some good points there, CJ. I think differently. I think Jimmy G will lead the 49ers to the playoffs. And then eventually we'll get to the win-loss for the 49ers. But I think Jimmy G is going to come back with a vengeance. I think he's going to look at the 49ers and say, man, they traded up at third. They're trying to get my guy. They're trying to get my replacement, Trey Lance, but I'm not ready to give that up yet. So I think we're going to see the revelation of Jimmy G. I call it the year of the porn star Jimmy. He's going to go out there. He's going to slang it down the field. He's going to look at Aaron Andrews. He says,
"Slang it,
great, baby.
God.
We're gonna rough rider all over the defense anywhere that we play." And you also got to think Niners defense is coming back fully healthy. So, we'll see what happens with San Francisco, but I got really high praise in Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's going to be a comeback season for Jimmy G on and off the field. We'll see what happens, but we'll see. But I'm all in on Jimmy Garoppolo.
Bro, this guy's hilarious.
Hey, he knows what he likes in life.
That's hilarious. On and off the field.
Yo, what was that deleted scene from The Office?
Oh, man.
With he was like, they were talking about Kim Kardashian, and they were like, yeah, you got to love a good comeback story because,
Yeah.
That shit.
Chris Pratt's like,
please tell me you heard what I said, Christian. Please.
Oh, yeah. I did.
Okay,
I listened to it.
Yeah, Christian just likes to randomly disappear. Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I'm hungry, and you're taking a long time. And second of all, I have to agree with Matt. I think Jimmy G has a comeback season. I don't think Trey Lance. This is numero uno, my son. But Jimmy G, I do think he has a bounce back season. I don't think Trey Lance plays at all if maybe week 18 now, and gets his first start. I think Jimmy G is a comparable quarterback. I think that he's proven to be exactly what he needs to be. Same thing with Jared Goff. He led them to a Super Bowl, and to Jimmy G's defense, he's been injured the 1 year that they've been back from the Super Bowl. So I really think that he has what it takes to be a good game. I think a really good game manager, similar to Tom Brady, where, they're not necessarily doing anything that pops off the page athletically or with their arm, but they are making the throws that need to be made. They're limiting their mistakes. And I think it's a similar – I'm not saying Tom Brady level. I'm just saying similar type play styles. I think it works well for Shanahan's offense. He played under Tom Brady and learned to play his game from Tom Brady at a professional level. So I don't think it's really that
game manager
outlandish
for Tom Brady.
He's the best game manager of all time. He is the GOAT game manager. And that's nothing against him. He's won the Super Bowls. He has earned the right to be in the GOAT conversation.
I've seen his game managing. I've seen his game managing skills firsthand. It is horrible. Slice and dice your team's heart. Brutal.
Sheesh.
Christian knows about that too. You know what I mean?
Well, his team didn't even score a touchdown. So
listen,
they dug their own graves there.
A beautiful, nice little touch pass over the shoulder to Rob Gronkowski set up at the goal line.
And also one of Sony Michel's only bright spots for the Pats was the rushing touchdown.
Nah, that whole postseason, that man was an animal. Carried us, backpacked us like I do with Christian in Warzone.
All right, shut the fuck up.
Christian could hold his ground. He could get you a solid 3 to 4
I'm pretty
kills.
good.
Christian may not get like 15, 20, but don't discount him for 5 to 6.
Thank you, bro. I'm a great teammate. I'm playoff Rondo, bro. 4 points, 26 assists. I'm all over the fucking court. Just, Connie needs some help. Boom, revived him. Grenade, flat. I'm fucking everywhere, bro. But I think this season for Jimmy Garoppolo, is going to be similar to Patrick Mahomes' first season in the NFL, where he really pushed Alex Smith because, Alex Smith saw the new guy is there. I need to pick my shit up. I really do think Jimmy Garoppolo has maybe even a career year statistically, and then they maybe move on with him. He goes back to the Patriots if Mac Jones doesn't work, whatever happens. But I really think that Trey Lance is going to be there to motivate Jimmy Garoppolo in this year, and then going forward, maybe Trey Lance is going to be the guy that really takes Shanahan's playbook and does everything Shanahan's always wanted to do. But stop the Jimmy G hate. He's a great quarterback. I think he's one of the better 20 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. It's just been a really bad 2020 season for him. Kanye, I see you smiling over there. Boy, I'll smack that smile off your face. But I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. San Francisco is the type of team that's going to carry a quarterback with subpar skill and, level him up. You have that offensive line, the running game, which I'm actually interested to see how that running back core shakes out. Is it Trey Sermons? Is it Raheem Mostert? That's actually something I'm really interested in. But getting Bosa back, getting Solomon Thomas, I'm excited to see what that defense does next year. But you talk about them playing against the Rams. Outside of Bosa, coming off the edge, I still think we're much more superior on defense, and I think our offenses match up pretty similarly. So, maybe it was Jared Goff kind of getting his nut sucked up, when the 49ers play and he just has his tail between his legs. But I really think it's more of Sean McVay trying to master things that Jared Goff does and Kyle Shanahan just getting around that. But Matthew Stafford's a bad man, and I don't think the league is ready to see what Shanahan and Stafford has in store. I'm really excited.
Well, listen, clearly the hair gel has gotten into Christian's head. So we got some problems here. Jimmy, we've seen it. Mid. He lost them the Super Bowl. Let's be honest here.
He got them there, though.
But he also lost it for him.
So did Shanahan, the choke master.
Whoa. Shout out Emmanuel Sanders' wide open overthrow for a touchdown. That would have put them ahead and won them the game. But we have a different problem here. I'm just saying. Oh, we got your boy Nick in the comments, CJ. Bills cleared up room for Julio today.
I'm crying.
He said Zach Ertz really funny.
He says Zach Ertz.
But hey,
that's who they're going at.
We've all kind of answered the next question anyway, so I'm going to go into it. Listen, first of all, I don't trust Jimmy, which is being said because I think Trey Lance. Give me week 6, bro.
You're going week 6?
Week 16.
Bro, I'm telling you right now,
No,
Jimmy has a hamstring strain
16,
by week 6, bro. I'm telling you right now what happens. It's just how it goes. Listen, we talk injury prone. You mentioned a bunch of people. Carson Wentz always gets brought up in it, or other players as well. No, it starts and stops with Jimmy. Man can't stay on the field, and he's paid to do it. That contract, bro. That contract, you cannot tell me they don't regret that contract. I don't care if they got to Super Bowl or not.
They can move off the contract after June 1st and save over $20+ million in cap space if they really want.
Yeah, I just don't think they're ready to go with Trey Lance from the start. I think he needs some time to develop. I just don't think he'll have the time because Jimmy will end up getting hurt. I'm just saying. But, so CJ, you think we see Trey Lance? Because Christian, you already said no. Matt, I think you said no as well. Right?
I agree with Christian. I'd say no as well. Only until they have a secure playoff spot clinched, whether that's a first round bye at the 1 seed or securely clinched 2 through 7. That would be the only time I would see Trey Lance play. Like a Mahomes situation with Alex Smith. Final week of the season, throw him in, see how he does, and if he's ready to go, boom, put him in next season. Move on from Jimmy G.
So CJ, what'd you have?
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing just because I just don't know about Garoppolo's durability. I mean, that's the key thing. I mean, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. Lance, he's very raw as a prospect. I think he only had about 320 snaps as a quarterback in North Dakota State. So it's going to take some time for him to be completely ready, which is why Shanahan still spoke so glowingly about Garoppolo right now. But, if he's hurt, they're going to go with him. And then Shanahan, similar to what Christian said about McVay, does a great job of putting his guys in the best positions to succeed in order to get the W. So even though the playbook might not be expanded as we may expect it to be with a guy like Shanahan and Lance, because he's still very young, I think it's very possible we could see him on the field. So I'm gonna say yeah. I think we might see him for a couple games. Will he be the starter for the remainder of the season if Garoppolo comes back and is 100%? I mean that. Yeah, I don't know about that, but just because of Garoppolo's durability, I just think we might see him. We might see him on the field and maybe some trick plays or something like that. Maybe catch a defense off guard, do something like that. It's very possible. We saw that a little bit with Flacco and Lamar, different athletes, but I think it's very possible we could see it.
All right, and then we'll move into the other side of the ball when it comes to 49ers. Robert Saleh gone. Coaching our New York Jets. Am I right, CJ?
It's not my New York.
Listen, us New Yorkers disown them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, I mean, they even play New Jersey, too.
Exactly. There's only one real New York team. It's the Bills, technically. We're just being honest here. So you think the loss of Robert Saleh hurts the 49ers defense? Matt, we'll start with you.
Ooh, do I think the loss of Robert Saleh impacts the 49ers? I think it does slightly. I don't think it does it much. I don't think they go from like one of the best defenses to one of the worst. But I think what it does is it kind of lowers it down from like a top 5 defense in the NFL to top 10. Like instead of like a top 5, 1 through 5, they found like a 6 to 7. But I mean, the 49ers, they still have most of their key defensive players. You know, they have Bosa returning. They got Kinlaw, who looks good. And just overall, their defense as a whole is still going to be one of the tops in the NFL. So with or without Saleh, I think they're going to be just fine. Would they be absolutely better with Saleh? Absolutely. I think they would have been the best defense in the NFL if they had Saleh. But even though they don't have him,
I was waiting for that.
They're still going to be a respectable defense. They're still going to be a top 10 defense. So it's not really falling too far off the map, from instead of a top 5 defense, a top 10 defense, but they're still going to be up there. They're still going to be built off of run game and defense. That's what the Niners predicate on. That's how Kyle Shanahan was built, just like his daddy, but instead his daddy won 2 rings and his son choked 2 rings. So those are the 2 different spectrums, but we'll see what happens. But overall, them not having Saleh won't change a thing.
CJ, what you think?
Yeah, it might hurt them in the beginning of the season, but I feel like just because of Saleh's energy, he was so animated on the sideline for so many years, past 2 seasons. But like Matt said, they still have the talent. Like Bosa coming back, Thomas, Ken Love has some splashes on that defensive front. Secondary is probably going to be the key question for them. Again, in a division that has a multitude of outside weapons. So that's going to be the key thing for them. That's secondary. But I think the front 7, Fred Warner, one of the best linebackers in the NFL. So I think that front 7 is good. But I think that back 4 is something that remains to be seen in terms of them being a complete defense.
Christian, saw you, my guy.
So I think they actually regress a little bit. I do love their front 7, as you mentioned, but their defensive backfield is kind of pitiful. I think Saleh, whether it was scheme or energy or a mixture of both, really was able to get around some of the deficiencies they had on defense, even before this year where everyone was basically injured now. Going forward, I'm not sure who they have in there as their new DC, but to compare to the Rams, who also lost their defensive coordinator, I don't think the Rams will see as much of a regression because you have 2 defensive player of the year level caliber players in Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. As much as I love Bosa, he hasn't shown me yet to be that top level of defensive player. So I think it's more likely the Niners regress to like a middle of the road team in terms of defense than the Rams. But I mean, they're not going to be the worst. They're not going to be the Dallas Cowboys defense. They're going to be okay.
Nothing might be the Dallas Cowboys
worst defense of all time. Clemson's defense was better last year.
Ooh.
See, so listen, that's where the Cowboy hate comes out in Christian right there. What's the gosh? You think? All right, guys, let's go. Let's do this. Over under week 7 before Christian and Perry get into a fight. Like an actual physical fight. Like a physical
It won't
fight.
happen. This has been every year since we were like 15. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, aren't you guys living together?
Yeah, but come on, you know how it goes.
No. Physical altercation by week 7. I'm calling.
Connie, that'd be like you hitting your dad. Like, come on.
Oh, you calling Perry your daddy, bro?
No, bro, come on. I'm like, you see me, son. Like, it's like, you know.
Well, I mean, you did kind of say it's like hitting your dad. If you would have said hitting your brother, that would have made more sense. But you made the
No, I'm saying
connection
I'm
of
his
hitting
dad,
your
son.
Oh,
So you see how big I am, like, you know, he's my little brother, you know, my little boy, you know what I'm saying? Like Connie. Connie's my little sister, though, you know.
Whoa, that's stop.
Connie, I got 2 sisters, and it's much more of a sister. It's not that's a bad thing, bro. Don't play into those, you know, gender normative, you know, stereotypes. Like, it's all good, bro. You my little sister, you my bit, like you good, right here. That's forever. Lock that in, Connie. Right
I'll
there.
remove you right now.
Family. I'm hungry, so honestly, I'm cool with that.
Well, listen, we're almost done, you little shit. So calm down. Listen, 49ers got Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. How are we feeling about that receiving corps? Top 5? Even though Kittle's a tight end? Even though Kittle's a tight end, technically. But let's be honest, he's a tight end.
Tight ends are in the passing game now. Look at Kyle Pitts. He can't block. That's a wide receiver with body yada yada. Like, that is.
Hey, yo.
They're good. Hey, honestly, 49ers game, don't count him out, even though he's been injured the first 2 years. Jalen Hurd, they have him as kind of a combo tight end wide receiver, when in college he was a combo running back tight end. Mind you, Jalen Hurd was ranked higher than Leonard Fournette going into their final year in college. So I don't think count out Jalen Hurd. I think there's a lot of uses for him if he can stay healthy. That's a scary offense. As much as I don't like the 49ers, they got weapons and a coach and an offensive line. Getting Trent Williams as your left tackle just for a second, highway robbery, in my opinion. So,
yeah, especially with him replacing Joe Staley too. That's like going from one all-time grade to another.
Literally unfair.
Joe Staley, man.
Literally unfair.
That's like going from
Christian does like big man. Christian does like the big man.
As a former big man myself, yes, I can have an appreciation for a gentleman who went from cross country and then played offensive line in the NFL. I think that's a pretty
who did
like
that?
Caleb playing soccer and then being an actual athlete. You know, it's the big jump. Caleb, or sorry, Connie. You know, you and I are aligned on that, bro.
No, absolutely.
I remember
soccer's for nothing. You didn't do anything.
Not even
Let's be real here.
Cheerleading soccer.
In fact, a strong gust of wind, the whole team goes down.
Exactly.
So you know, I'm just saying. Real quick, because we're gonna get into the schedule, then we're gonna wrap it up. Matt, CJ, top 5.
Top 5 for Kittle, absolutely.
No, top 5.
The whole receiving corps.
Ooh, the receiving corps. Top 5 receiving corps. I think it's tough. I do think they're up there, but I think they're right at number 7, number 6. I think they're relying really heavy on Kittle. Now, if they could add Julio Jones, that's a top 5 receiving corps. But as of right now, I think they are they're close to 5. They're around the 7 to 6 range. Only because George Kittle, as the great Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would say, can you smell, instead of what The Rock is cooking, what the Niners are cooking? That's the only reason why they would be even close to the top 5, just because Kittle knows. And Kittle's going to be healthy. He's been coming with the advantage. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me some Brandon Ayuk. He had some good flashes. Ended the Eagles' career when he hurdled him in for the end zone. But I will say that they do have Deebo. Deebo does steal your chains, steals your money, steals your bike. So maybe he's gonna be stealing. Maybe he's gonna be stealing some footballs from corners. But I think it's gonna. If they want to be a top 5 receiving corps, in all honesty, it has to be the development of Deebo Samuel. How will he perform? Because if we're being honest, the 49ers haven't recovered the hole that Sanders left. Because when Emmanuel Sanders was in San Fran, when they made that Super Bowl run, he was that fantastic number 2 receiver, behind George Kittle, because it was Kittle and then Sanders. When Kittle got hurt and Sanders left, it was just Ayuk, they Kendrick Bourne before he went to New England, and then Samuel. He didn't really hit that echelon. I think if Samuel can develop well, then they could be a top 5 receiving core. But right now, I think they're just outside of the top 5 at number 6, number 7.
Yeah, I'll put them in my top 5. They're extremely physical, all 3 of those guys. They get yards after the catch. That's exactly what you need in the West Coast offense. Obviously, the Bucks probably the cream of the crop. You could maybe put the Cardinals up there as well. But I just think just because of how they're schemed and how Shanahan puts them in certain positions out in the field, you got to put them up there. Then they're going to have a really big season, whether it's Garoppolo or Lance under center.
All right. I think, yeah, I'll put them up there. I'll put them in the top 5. They're probably like 5th, though.
Yeah. Like 5.
Yeah. I'm not, because, I'll go there. Why not? Now, it's time again, ladies and gentlemen, for our favorite thing. How many wins will the 49ers have? Now, we'll give everybody a little bit of time here. We'll go through it in your head. We'll just say how many wins we think they have at the end of this. So take your time, get your wins.
Well, I got mine ready. This is gonna be a spicy one.
You know what, Masses? You already got to go ahead. I'm going to keep counting for myself.
Ten and 7.
10-7. Wow.
Yep.
Ooh, 10-7. Man, I must be really high on the porn star Jimmy because I got him winning 14.
14, crazy.
I got him going 14 wins. I just look at the schedule. I went on my little tangent earlier on why I'm high on Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners defense, him returning. I don't see many L's. The only L's I will see is one against the Cardinals, against the Indianapolis Colts, and then one against the Seahawks. But I mean, you look at the rest of the schedule, and I'm sorry, I want to have hope as a Green Bay fan going against the San Francisco 49ers, but man, the Niners are going to mollywop us, dude.
Again.
They're Kyle Shanahan is literally Matt LaFleur's daddy, bro. It's unreal. It's like Pedro Martinez when he went to New York and they're chanting, "Who's your daddy?" That's literally what Matt LaFleur is going to do. Matt LaFleur is going to walk into Levi Stadium. He's going to go up to Kyle Shanahan's back. "Hey, your son's here. Matt LaFleur's here. It's time for my spanking today." On Sunday Night Football, it's going to be a humiliation. It's going to be a beatdown. So I already have that in mind. And then you look at the rest of the schedule, do we really think they're going to lose to the Houston Texans? No.
Yes.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan, like I mentioned earlier, they own the Rams. Don't get me wrong, the Rams are going to be good, but Shanahan pretty much owns them like a book.
I'm not going to lie. Listen, you guys had a little bit of a reaction. I kind of agree with Matt here. I don't see too many L's on the schedule.
And you also look at the Bears. The Bears. Really? You think the Bears with Andy Dalton or Justin can't even play in a big game Fields? Seriously? And you also really think, oh yeah, let Russ cook. That thing's gonna last like 6 weeks and it'll be toast. Please.
All right, CJ, what do you have then?
Like, dude, just look at it. Where are more than 3 L's that you guys can see? I want to hear it.
CJ, what do you got?
Yeah, I was saying I'm right there with Christian, 10-7.
All right.
Because again,
if you don't mind sharing,
you're saying 14-3. That means you're saying they're gonna sweep the division, pretty much.
I have them losing.
I don't see that. I see those games being a lot closer than maybe how you guys see it. You and Matt see it.
I just see. All right, I can see a loss to the Seahawks. I can see a loss to the Rams. And then
Seahawks, Cardinals, Colts, Rams, potentially Cardinals twice.
Cardinals
Vikings
twice?
might clap. Kyler's a bad man.
Come on, bro.
Titans for sure.
No.
Now if the Titans got Julio, now we're talking.
I mean, good teams lose to worse teams all the time. Like, it's an 18-game schedule. They're going to get beat up. They're going to get tired. The bye is in week 6. That's 12 weeks, basically, 3 months of games straight? Like, that's a long time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Listen, it's called having faith.
I see 10-7. I see 10-7.
Who you got them
11-6.
Who they losing to, CJ?
Yeah, again, like I said, I can see the Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, one time Colts, and then again, like Christian said, there are going to be a couple games where they take a L where you expect them to win. It's bound to happen. We've seen that, at least 2 or 3 times in a season from a really good team lose to some teams like, oh, they lost to that team. So I can see that. And then, like I said, that division, they're going to beat each other up, the whole year. So
that could very well be a possibility. Now, I'm banking on them being fully healthy.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
I'm banking on the defense coming back together and Jimmy G just going bananas. So we'll see what happens there. But I will say 10-7, 11-6 does sound realistic. If it is 10-7, 11-6, I can see that.
For a
Listen,
team that honestly,
I just don't know, man.
Said,
I just think San Francisco, the way how they're going into this year, Shanahan, this is what, year 4 in San Fran? I mean, he's going in year 4. What has he done in San Fran in 4 years? He went 4-12, 13-3 and blew a Super Bowl, 6-10 and missed the playoffs, and now he's in year 4. What you gonna do?
Listen,
that's fair.
It's fair. All right. Well, you know what? I think we had a great time, even though Christian was on the show. I still think it went pretty well. So before we head out, of course, got to thank the sponsors, like we always do around here. So if you're into the betting world, mybookie.ag USM 100 will double your first deposit up to $1,000. Got some beautiful Lakers basketball on right now, down about 20 points. So you guys can fuck right off on that one.
Hey, it's only one half, buddy. This is just the first half. King James is just getting started. Just wait.
Yeah, King James is sitting on the crown right now.
Hey, Cardi, hey, let the Warriors know what happens when you have a lead on LeBron, okay? I'll be back here when you get their info. All right.
Yeah. What about the other?
I'll be here.
What about the other 3 times?
5 championships? What?
7 losses? Whatever.
Got to be there to win or lose.
Still lost though. RX Hemp, RxHemp-USM will save you 10% on your entire order. If you're a little sore from life, go and check them out. We have the Teespring shop, teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Go check it out. If you like any of the merch over there, the network has its own merch. And then, of course, each individual show has its merch as well. So, check out the hard count merch. Maybe buy some. Support me and CJ's lifestyle. You know what I mean? And then, finally, we have the Patreon, patreon.com/unwrappedsports. $1, you're supporting the squad. $5, you get access to Discord, where we're basically giving you free money with our betting picks. You also get entered into an Amazon gift card giveaway, and you get 10% off that store I just told you about. And then finally is a $10 here where you get everything I just said, except the 10% discount. No, it goes to 20. It goes to 20. And then you also get entered into I was about to say Amazon gift card giveaway, but no, you get entered into our signed memorabilia giveaway each month. Last month, we gave away a Ricky Williams signed mini helmet. And you know what? Because we slacked a little bit, we also gave away a Brandon Ayuk signed jersey or picture. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember. Picture. It was a picture. So you know what? Look at that. We threw out 2 things because we know we slacked off a little bit. You could be winning free things right now. Free things. Just saying. You could pay for yourself. Anyway, I give the floor to our guests. I'll start with Matt because he was here longer and I like him more.
All right, so my Twitter handle down below, I'm Matt_Skura. Instagram, Matt_Skura20. And check out my podcast, my great friend Caleb Conant. Have a very own podcast titled MCS Real Sports Podcast. We talk all things NBA and NFL related. We're available everywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. Check it out, give it a listen. And, it was a pleasure being on here in the Hard Count. And we made some very great takes. And I'm excited to be on whenever.
Christian.
I just want to promote all of you guys who do an amazing job here at Unwrapped. Connie, who's got a show basically every night and then goes on his OnlyFans and does feet stuff basically all night in private chat rooms. Just want to
and Nan's cutlets too. Don't forget about them.
Throwing Nan's cutlets in between his feet, looking all nasty and shit.
Oh,
but
raw
barbecue sauce on my titties, bro.
I just want to thank all of you guys and promote y'all's work. And as you know, Scout Pads, the real estate investment dream. As of today, we have launched our $100 million investment fund in the city of Los Angeles. So if you hate paying taxes and you like wearing nice old gold fancy watches, why don't you hit me on Twitter and I can see what I can do for you, because I am the man with the plan. And as much as I love sports, that is my full-time job. So as an owner of Unwrapped, as much as I want to promote myself, you guys are the ones who make things work. I just stand off in the distance and just oil myself down with RX hemp, which is very good for your game time sores like Connie, as a Patriots fan who's going to be sore a lot next year when the Patriots lose, 14, 15 games. With Mac Jones a quarterback, he's going to need some RX hemp.
Hey, don't disrespect Mac Jones.
Gosh, that's how you know drugs are legal in Cali.
Speaking of illegal things you shouldn't be doing, 2 DUI Mac Jones is not winning more than 5 games next year, Connie. So say what you want, but
he's not starting.
I mean, he might, how bad Cam Newton is, but I digress from the point. Thank you for having me on. Give me a follow at McGowan75 on Twitter, and we can riff it up.
C. James Sports on Twitter, Guard Up Podcast, posting twice a week. Dropped a new episode on Saturday. New episode coming out in a couple days, so just covering everything all NBA and the playoffs going on. Catch me on Twitch as well, CJ vs. the World.
I was in that Twitch stream last night a little bit. Hell yeah. As for me, you guys know what it is by now. Monday, Generation Sports, 7 Eastern. We do this, me and CJ, every Tuesday, covering all your NFL needs at 9 o'clock. And then Thursday, Backstop Banter with me and Michael. We will have that covering all things in the baseball world. Anthony Conover _ on Twitter, Gen Z Sports for the pod as well. And Anthony _ Conover is my Twitch as well, where I put all the pods and I haven't been gaming too much, but I put the pods on there. So go check it out. Matt, Christian, appreciate having you boys on. CJ, we do great as always. I'm not surprised there, but thank you. We will see everybody next week.